Hello and welcome to the fourth video of Excel functions. I'm Philip Burton of excelinoffice.com and we're going to consolidate what we've learned in the past few videos in this video. So these are some of the functions that we have had a look at. And what I want to do is divide each of these people's names into a first name, middle name and last name. Now I'm going to be using additional columns to help me. These will be called helper columns. And they can be hidden away at the end if you so wish by just right and clicking on them and go to hide. I don't think there's any downside to using helper columns if you actually need them. And for this video, it will make the calculations a lot easier. So first of all, let's concentrate on the first name. How can we find out where the space is in somebody's first name? Which of these functions are we going to be using? So if you don't know the answer, why not go back to video number 2, I think, of this series, and we find out it's either the find or the search function. So the location of the first space is equal to find or search. Either one will do, because the difference between the two is one is text sensitive, one is not, and it doesn't matter when we're looking for spaces. We're finding, first question, what are we finding? We're finding a space, so quotation mark, space, quotation mark, comma. And then where are we finding it? What cell are we finding it in? We're finding it in cell B7. So close that. We want it to start right at the beginning, so we don't need the last argument. And here it is. We find it in character number 4. So how do we take the first 4 characters and put it in the first name? Which of these functions do we use? We use left. We can also use mid as well. So let's have a look at left. So equals left, and then what comes next? B7, comma, and how many characters? It's this cell over here, these 4 characters. But what cell references that? Why not pause the video if you've got to work it out? It is cell G7. So there we have Ken. And if we copy all of this down, we find that we have everybody's first name. Now that means that everybody's remaining names, so names that are left, will be using which of these functions? It uses the mid function. So equals mid, open bracket. So where's our text? B7, comma, where do we start? Now if you said G7, I'll put that in for now. Not 100% right, but it's not necessarily wrong. And then how many characters? Well, as I explained in the first video, I'm just going to take what's left. So I'm going to put 999 characters. Now you can see that there is a space at the beginning of the name. And that's because we have started at the 4th character, and the 4th character is a space. So ideally we need to start at the 5th character, which would be 5. 4 plus 1. So let's do that. We change this from starting at G7 to G7 plus 1. So those are the names that are left. Now my next question. Is there a space left in this name? So there are 2 ways of working this out. One way is to do exactly what we've done here with the search or find function. So equals find of what cell? F7, but what are we looking for? We put that in first. We put in a space and then F7. If you do it the other way around, it's impossible to find J. Sanchez in just a space, so you get an error. Let's put it in the right way around, and then we can see the space is at number 2. The problem with that is that if there isn't a space, you get an error. And whilst that's not the end of the world, it's not nice. So it's not really an answer to, is there a space? So I'm going to put this to one side because we will use that in just a few minutes. So how many spaces are left? We've had to look at this in a previous video. And so what we can do is say, what is the length of the name that's left minus the length of the name that's left after we have substituted the name that's left and got a space and substituted it with nothing. So you can see that there is 1 space in J. Sanchez and 0 spaces left in Tamburello and 0 spaces left in Walter. And these nicely match up with the errors. So let's put in the middle name. So this is when we need an if, so equals if. So first of all, we've got a question of, is this cell equal to 1? If it is, then we have a middle name. If it isn't, then we don't. So let's work this out. If this cell is equal to 1, what is this cell? It is cell I7. So if this cell is equal to 1, right, then we've got a middle name. Otherwise, we've got no middle name. So here we've got middle names. Here we've got no middle names. Now, what is the middle name if there is no middle name? Well, the middle name is blank. So we put in an empty string, 2 quotation marks immediately after each other. So now we need the middle name. So the middle name is, can you work out how we can use F7 and another cell that's on here to work out how long the middle name is and therefore how many characters we need to take? So we say equals the left of H7 and we go for how many characters? J7. So now we've got somebody's middle name being J, the next one being Lee, and so forth. So finally, we have got somebody's last name, the rightmost name. So that is everything after a space, if there is a space in what's left, or the entirety of the string if there isn't. So equals if, and we have exactly the same. If there is a space left, so if I7 is equal to 1, then we need to take everything after the space, or if not, we take the full name, or the full name that's left. So here you can see I want everything after the space, and here we can see everything that's left. So the space is here in J6. So space occurs here. So how do we finish off this formula? What do we put in here, which is when there is a space, and what do we put in here where there is no space? And we put in the full name that's left. Why not let me know in the comments below? So please put in your answer and we'll see how it compares with mine. Now, if you like this video, why not click subscribe and then also press the bell icon so you will be notified of any new videos. Now, a quarter of my Excel in Microsoft Excel 1 course and Excel 2 course are all about formulas. So there's a lot to learn outside of formulas, but equally there's a lot to learn with formulas as well. So if you're interested in them, please have a look at the description to this video. Well, thank you for watching this video. I look forward to seeing what your answer to my question is, and I'll see you in the next video.